Hello, Sean Parge to EP Training. Thought we'd do a short video on ADR training. Okay, what is ADR? ADR is the license required by drivers who transport dangerous goods by road. Predominantly it's for the LGV sector, but not necessarily. Think about it, you could be moving radioactives on the back of a motorbike, but mainly it's for drivers who move dangerous goods by road. So to gain your ADR license, you need to sit a course and pass a couple of examinations. And the number of examinations will depend on what type of ADR you want. So if we look at ADR, everybody has to do what we call a core module. And that covers things like basic first aid, what to do in emergency, fire precaution, that kind of stuff. That normally lasts for about a day and a half. Then you have what we call the package module, which will allow you to move dangerous goods in anything other than a tanker. And then finally we have the tanker module, which will allow you to move any type of dangerous goods in tanks. So you have core, and you can everybody has to do the core, and then you can either do the package and tank, or pack or tank. Okay, then we move on to the class of dangerous goods. There's 9 classes of dangerous goods. We have class 1 for explosives, which is quite a niche one. Class 2 for gases, Class 3 flammable liquids, Class 4 flammable solids, Class 5 oxidizing substances, Class 6 infectious substances, Class 7 radioactives, another niche class, Class 8 corrosives, and Class 9 miscellaneous substances. The different modules, i.e. tanker or packages, and we looked at all the classes of dangerous goods. Alright, so typically if you're a Class 2 HGV driver, you do what we call a package goods ADR course, which will cover the core, the package element, and all classes, all 9 classes except radioactives and explosives. Typically if you're a Class 1 driver, then you might consider doing the tanker element as well, which would cover core, pack, tank, and all classes except 1 and 7. So the package goods course is 3.5 days in duration, including the exams, and the 5-day is for the combined package goods and tankers. I have made no mention of the radioactives and explosives in the normal course delivery because they are very niche classes. You can get them, but I would advise that you only get them if you think you're going to use them. Okay, so at the end of the course you will do an examination, as we said earlier, and depending on the modules and the classes you want will depend on how many exams you do. But typically it's 1 exam per class or per module. The exams themselves are quite straightforward. It's pitched at about an NVQ level 2 and is multiple choice as well. The vast majority of drivers that attend ADR will pass first time. Do your exams, which are multiple choice format, quite straightforward stuff. Once you've done your exams, the papers are sent off to people called SQA, the Scottish Qualifications Authority, and they are the people responsible for marking and indeed issuing the ADR licenses. So if you're successful and pass, you should get your ADR license within about 4 or 5 weeks of sitting the examination. Point to bear in mind, you cannot move dangerous goods, or certainly those that come within scope, until you've got that ADR license back in your possession. Okay, so one of the good things about ADR is you can get driver CPC at the same time. It very much depends on the company that you're going to for the training, whether or not they've actually got their ADR course approved for driver CPC or not. So it's certainly worth checking and booking with a company that does ADR and driver CPC at the same time, because you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So normally the 3.5 day package goods course, you can get 21 hours count towards your driver CPC. Remember, the exams won't count towards driver CPC. And then the 5-day ADR course, in certain instances, you can get up to 28 hours. If you do the full 5-day ADR course with EP, we'll give you the 35 hours driver CPC. So you get 28 that week. You come back and do another 7 hours free of charge. So if you think about it, you've got to get your driver CPC done at some point, and vice versa. You might have to get your ADR done at the same time. We'll see if you can get 2 qualifications at the same time. It makes perfect sense. As far as how much you pay for your ADR training, really the ADR Training Delivery Network is set up of independent training providers. So they all have their different prices. So obviously ring around and see who's got what on offer. And you get your car through. It's going to be valid for 5 years. Okay. By the end of that 5 years, within the last 12 months, you can do what we call an ADR Refresher. So it must be in the last 12 months, but you must have at least 6 weeks left on your existing ADR qualification to qualify for a refresher. We advise really that you consider doing initial courses instead of refreshers. Why? Because ADR refreshers will only give you 7 hours count towards your driver's CPC. Whereas if you do the initial course, again, then you get more hours count towards your driver's CPC. So it makes perfect sense. Instead of doing a refresher, you just do an initial course, and that is possible. A little bit of an insight into ADR, how you get it, how difficult the exams are, what exams you've got to do, and the fact you can also get driver CPC count towards it as well. So we hope this has been of interest and a help. If you want more information, just look at eptraining.co.uk. Thank you.